Yeah, we're live. Hey, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I'm your host, Ben Cross, and I'm with my good friend Thomas Bailey. Tommy, baby, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I am feeling like it's 1999 and I'm just ready to party, man.
I feel like this is a 2020 version of the ladies' man. You sitting in front of that fireplace right now.
You need
like a snifter, some apple juice or something. Just like, hey.
I mean, I was gonna light it, but it gets a little hot. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need to be perspiring on your show. I'm already nervous enough.
Fireplace. I understand.
I'm already nervous enough, Ben. I
understand. Hey, you're nervous. I'm nervous, man. We're wearing the same suit jacket. I mean, gosh, it's like showing up to the prom. You got the same dress on as somebody else. Anyway, this is exciting. We're talking about networking in a virtual environment or anything else we want to talk about, because Thomas and I tend to go off the script a little bit.
We do.
I think the script is actually being generous, frankly.
I mean, yeah, if you call what we do a script, I would. Yeah, I think I'd say you're lying. You know,
we're straight up just lying in people's face over here.
Yeah.
We've got people coming in left and right, just having keen observations here. Janet Turner. Thomas has a new name. Tommy F. Baby. Please say the baby. Yeah. Yo, legitimately, in my last job, I had people. I went to IT. I went to IT and told them I need to set up an email address, tbaby at company name.
Yeah, I know this because when you left said company, people still called me like for years and said, "Hey, is Tommy Baby available?"
Is Tommy Baby available?
Yeah, like they don't know whether to say the baby or not. And I say, yes, please say the baby.
Please say the baby. That's right. We got people checking in all over the place here. We got Tim Quirk checking in. Maybe. Hold on. Where'd you go, Timmy? We got Tim Quirk. Used to work at that job with me. Hey, Tim. Hello, gents from Western New York. Listen, you say something.
I'm glad you. Oh, hey, Tim. I'm glad you know what WNY meant, because I was going to go something. I don't know where we were going with that one.
Yeah. Vinny Valverde. Hey there, guys. Two of my favorites. Miss you guys so much. Vinny, if you wouldn't mind just giving us that top two in order, that'd be great. Lena Rectal, Hi, Ben and Janet. Looking forward to this session. Hey, Lena. Lena, I would love it if you ask questions. Please ask questions.
Yeah, this is a questions thing.
Please, this is a question. Yes, please get in the comments there. I would love to hear your comments, your questions about networking, about virtual events. We are going to be up here pretending to be experts for the next 54 minutes.
I'd say that we did a good job at. I mean, pretending is the name of the game. I mean, what's the whole thing?
Until you make it, right?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say pretend until you get that raise.
There's a saying for that. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
We got
but I am excited though to get into this whole networking at a distance thing. I mean, it's perplexing.
Good evening, Thomas. Good evening, Ben. I watched your teaser video, Thomas. I am now expecting the unexpected.
Yes. There you go.
Well, he's already wearing a suit jacket, so there you go.
That's unexpected number one. I haven't worn a suit jacket since the last time you saw me in person, whenever that was. So
yeah,
not you, Henry, because I don't think I've met you in person. But
no, nobody's met Henry. There's actually a conspiracy. There's a deep state conspiracy that Henry and Rory Ramirez are actually the same person. Yeah, for sure.
Are we?
Yeah. Amanda Brenneman, yes. That's an emphatic yes. Jamie Master, hi, Ben and Thomas. Cheers from sunny Mississippi. Love to hear your comments and questions. Please ask the baby anything you want. Let it know, the baby. Danny Herskowitz, hi from New Jersey. This is why Thomas never comes on. He's like, I can't be doing this for 50 minutes. Michael Quigley, TB in the house.
Oh, what's up, Mike?
Quigley's
I need Mike's weather at all times. Like it's nice where he is every day of the year.
For sure. Well, except when it's on fire. Mike, I hope you're doing okay out there.
Well,
out there.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to just go past that point. Sorry.
Landon's echoing your fake it till you make it. That's great.
So I got here.
Sandra Clary, today's wild card when Ben and Thomas get together will be great, and Thomas giving Ben fashion goals.
Hey, son.
All right, so let's start here. So we're gonna riff off whatever you say in the comments. So put whatever you want in the comments, and Thomas and I are gonna riff off that. Okay. So the first thing Sandra brings up, Sandra Clary says today's a wild card. She says fashion goals. So Thomas, in the arena of conferences, real life in-person conferences, what kind of fashion goals and dress tips are we giving to people? Generally speaking, you go to a conference, what are some of the things you need to be considering from a fashion standpoint?
Number one, just go all the way. You know, none of this like it's your first conference and you're okay. So like some people come looking like it's their first conference because it's like their 80th conference. So like they just kind of dress more comfortable. They got like the, you know, like the Rockports on or whatever. You know, you gotta be uncomfortable sometimes, you know. You got to put those nice shoes on. You have to put on if you're not going to wear a tie, people, wear a shirt that looks like a tie or your grandmother's drapes.
That's critical right there. Look like you stole the drapery from your room, made a shirt out of it, and came down to the lobby just to mix and mingle.
And then, it could be, and that to that point, you can just hit this one button off, and then you're good to go for the rest of the day.
Do you do that? But you do the button on.
I do the button all the way up just because I want people to know I am ready to go.
Is there an age limit to that look?
To the all the way up?
Yeah. Is it 15? Is it 25? Is it 35? What is the age limit to the all the way up?
Hopefully it's like 40 because I'm 36. So hopefully it's I'm not there yet.
No, but it is a fashion forward look. It's a look.
I think that if you're gonna do it, just look like you know what you're doing. You know, fake it till you make it. If you're gonna go with this top button,
be intentional about it.
Be intentional. Yeah, and just go all the way with it. I mean, honestly, even for these, I mean, let's not, you know, since we're in the virtual world right now.
So that was my transition. So exactly. So now here we're virtual.
What are you gonna do?
How are you bringing it virtually from a fashion standpoint?
Just like this, right? Or, you know, like, I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. But if you're going to do, like, say we got ERC coming up, right? You don't want to look like a bum at ERC's, you know, virtual event. You don't, I mean, you're at home for you know, you want to just go upstairs, throw on something really quick, at least look like this from the top up because no one knows if you got shorts on.
I was going to say, so that's an ashy knee. Okay.
I got knees out right now. You know?
So we know. So here, I got my own confession to make.
What? Yeah, let's go. What's the?
So Thomas' knees are out. I went a little higher. Okay, y'all ready for this?
No, you don't have shorts on, do you?
No, are you ready for this? I'm in my office, proper office. But look what I did. You slapped my tie, right? You see, I got the knot. The knot is lovely because that's important.
Yes.
It's from up here. It's important. I got a little bit of flare right here. I got a piece of flare right there.
Yeah.
But then look what happens to the tie. It stops.
No.
It stops. Dumb short. It's dumb short. It's the
What's wrong with your tie?
No, you know what it is? It's because I'm from here up, right?
No.
So my knot is on point. It's a full Windsor, right? For those of you at home that don't know the difference between your tie knots, that is a triple. Okay, it's a full Windsor as opposed to a half Windsor or a 4-in-hand. And I got the tie pin if I'm feeling real like blinged out, I can kind of give it to you. But that's where it ends. But that's where it ends.
Yeah, don't ever step back.
I'll never show anybody that. But that's
you just did. Me. You just showed whoever is watching.
My point is understand what's being seen, make that amazing, and then everything else, hey, forget about it. You know?
Well, I'm glad that you sacrificed that moment for everybody else because that looks ridiculous.
Didn't it scarred you?
It's scary.
Bit. It's like walking around my office like this for like weeks, and people are looking at my short tie. My boss told me this morning, he's like, "Ben, your tie's a little short." I said, "Bill, I'm a little tall." You know, and like the key though is you got to be able to give it back to people.
Okay, well, yeah. I see where you're going with that. You know, yes. Do whatever Ben just said.
But then Pete, this is if I were to button my button, which is a big
yeah, that's great too.
But you don't even know what that is. You don't even know. Oh, you're seeing a little bit.
Yeah. See, that's dangerous, bro.
But you know what I'm saying. But you don't really know. You don't really follow that.
Now we all know forever.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody's got a comment about that. I'd like to hear your fashion goals out here. People are just People are killing me right now, dragging me in the comments. Now we know that is hilarious. Yes, Amanda, this is where you see behind the curtain. Does my tie make me look fat? Tim says. So here's the difference between real life and conferences. Okay, distill. In real life, you want to have a long tie, especially for you large gentlemen out there.
You want your tie got to make it to your belt.
In virtual life, like you look at like Trump, his tie be hanging around his knees. Seriously, check it out. But in a virtual environment, it's all about the knot and the dimple. It's just like looking for a good man, right? You're looking for a fat knot and some dimples. Okay.
Whoa.
You feel that?
Whoa. Is that the advice I got to give my daughter? A fat knot and some dimples.
Fat knot and some dimples.
So we went from virtual.
It works when you're 35.
We went from virtual conference, attire to like life lessons for my daughter. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Sandra Clary says, LOL, Ben, I've always admired the knot, but I didn't realize at what cost. Listen, if you're not willing to sacrifice, you don't show up to these virtual conferences. Okay? Let's talk about the sacrifices, the difference in sacrifice. Sandra, I always love riffing off you, Sandra. You always kind of lay it up for me real nice. What are some of the sacrifices that we've made at in-person conferences? Let's start there. Thomas.
What? I have no idea what that meant. You had something in your head and you need to go ahead and finish that. Was that Tim Hortons coffee?
Yes, Tim Hortons. Ever since I dragged Tim Hortons on a video, people started getting mad at me about it. And now I gotta like rep them and like do some projects.
I mean, so do you mean like I mentioned earlier, go all the way, even sometimes, you don't want to wear, the shoes all day. You would rather throw on some runners or something like that and then just look comfy as hell. So you take some sacrifices and being dressed up all day long, and
feet hurt.
Feet hurt, and you don't want to have a three-piece suit on with the tie all the way, and all this stuff. But it sets off, when you're walking down the hallway in a conference, maybe it's your first time or your 50th time.
And you're hitting that Zoolander by the elevator bank.
You got that slow motion walk where and then you randomly have to get something out of your pocket, so you throw this thing back and don't get me worked up. But yeah, there's some sacrifices in that process, and I think that we got to make sure that we do that at home too. And obviously, you got to be aware of who you're talking to on the phone or this through virtual. But I mean, so like work, internal office conversations is different. But sometimes you don't want to jump on like a big stage with a hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd love to, but I didn't do that today.
So would you rock the hoodie to a virtual conference if you were like,
for 1 second today, I thought about putting the hoodie on and then throwing this on top of it for 1 second. But then I realized
you were a millionaire,
right? I do want to be a millionaire tomorrow, but I don't want to look like an idiot at the same time.
Oh, the other thing, I know diet and exercise is important to you.
Yes, it is. So
do you sacrifice those when you go to conferences?
No, I don't. I don't sacrifice those. I mean, I'm extreme on the diet and exercise side, so it's kind of hard for me to sacrifice because then it would ruin my whole life. I think somehow I would fall apart.
Throw away your life at IM.
Literally, all my powers would go away at a moment. Like if I just threw back like a pound of ice cream or something like that. All this would no longer be what it is, So
it might be worth it. I don't know.
I know, but
fair trade. I think.
So what sacrifices were you alluding to?
Well, no, it needs to be diet. I mean, what about sleep? Sleep, right? Because a lot of times you're staying up super late, you're getting up early for the sessions and everything. So sleep kind of goes out the window. So you have to be super intentional about this as well, is my point. I mean, you got to be flexible, but you also have to plan to kind of sacrifice, but also then find ways to compromise with that and balance it out. Maybe if it's a midday nap, I've taken a lot of midday naps. I've taken a lot of, people work out in the middle of the day. Sometimes they catch they say, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of terrible sessions at 1 o'clock. I'm going to dip and go run around the block and take a nap and whatever, and to be fresh for the 4 o'clock, whatever. Now, virtual conferences. Okay, Francine, I hear your heels. Okay. Heels are not that comfortable. So now, virtual conferences, are there other sacrifices that need to be made? So we got people from all over the world right now. I mean, I came in this morning at 7 a.m., which for all you out there is early for me. It might not be early for you, but I did that to record a session with people in Asia. We got Singaporeans, we got Hong Kong, we got also Australia, and we recorded a session. Yeah, I'm time zone dropping over here.
You are really like, I didn't care.
I know you don't care, but there's people on here that care. Okay, there's people that are up in the MIA right now. My point is, there's some of that goes on. I think still, with the up late. I mean, do you ever have to do anything like late at night, but you're at home, and then it's like less acceptable to be doing something at 7 or 8 o'clock? Should they only know?
I guess it's even I haven't talked to anybody in Hong Kong in a couple of days, but sometimes you have to jump on these calls, like if it's something that's going on the West Coast, and they start at 7 o'clock, East Coast, or 6 o'clock, whatever. Sometimes you just got to sacrifice and sit around, or maybe talk to your boss or whoever, maybe leave work a little early because you're going to put in an hour later or whatever it is. So you got to be flexible with some of these time differences and things like that. But then also too, like, you got to make a sacrifice of maybe moving around the house a little bit to make sure that you have like a nice little backdrop. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I mean, like for like my work calls, internal, I'm in a different room and it's just looks different and the ambiance is not there, but I don't really care what my coworkers think, so it's like sometimes
so Vinny's talking about this right now, right? And so Vinny's talking about backgrounds and everything, and I'd love to hear from the people that are watching this right now. What do you do for your Zoom background, your conference background?
Like the digital one?
Yeah, so Vinny says the way to up your game on Zoom is using some amazing backgrounds. I have a few great ones. And I've seen people that have like a company one, which is kind of fun.
Vinny had like a dope like Nike one the other day. It was looking pretty fresh.
Yeah,
it was like a black background. His eyes were popping.
But then I've also read things and heard things that say don't use a virtual background because it can kind of spaz on you a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you hiding something? You feel like it's like
I was at a virtual conference the other day, or session, and the guy was giving a great keynote, but he was, he'd move his head every now and then it would just like stuff would flash, and like for a long time during that 30 minutes, 25 of those minutes were me wondering what was that behind him? Like, is that did I just see an ironing board? So just I feel like if it's possible, try your best to I would just go with a real background, because people know that you're at home for the most part, or if you're in your office, that's great. But if you're at home, most people know it. Try your best to just either have a plain background, just go against a white wall or something like that. Or I just think that some of those digital backgrounds are kind of weird. And to those all you guys out there that wear headphones, people can see straight through. There is no digital thing between your ears.
Oh, so you got a sunroof. So you got a little sunroof right here.
It gets weird. So in my opinion, unless you got Vinny's background that I saw the other day, don't do it.
I'd love to see your comments. I'd love to know what you think. Is a virtual background better? No background. We got some people checking in right here. Matthew Odike, amen. Thomas, Matthew never been to church, talking about amen. No virtual backgrounds. What's up, Matthew? I love you, man. Matthew's crazy. Jamie Master, virtual backgrounds make you look morphed when you move an inch.
Yeah, true.
All right, feel you. Let's see here. Sandra's talking about some things that she's done. I've got a 2 a.m. Eastern time appointment for an IAM virtual conference with someone in India.
Sacrifices, son. Sacrifices.
Wow.
That call is going to be taken for that Zoom call is going to be happening from my bed.
That is a gangster time slot
with like a background of the ocean, because I ain't moving from my bed.
This is great. We got people here checking in here. Vinny says it really depends on the audience. However, it's nice to bring them into your home. Yeah, I mean, I think so, right? If you have like kind of a dedicated space, I mean, if you got kids running around like crazy, it's still nice. What do you think about kids?
Okay, yeah. So it depends. No, never mind. So
your kids aren't watching this, so you say whatever you want.
No, I don't know if I'm not judging anybody in their kids' situation, right?
That's
if you have kids, I mean, my thing is embrace this moment. Honestly, like if the best advice for any of how to work throughout this next few months or however long it's going to last is just embrace like the real life situation that's going on. People know that you're at home, and I mean, unless your kids are like running around with like like frying pans hitting each other and screaming and crying, then it is what it is. Like if if a kid walks by in the background, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, and it sometimes it's even cool to bring them into the, like, oh, hey, yep, that's my daughter, blah, blah. And she keeps going, I wouldn't necessarily say have little Johnny camp out on your knee throughout the call, but I would definitely like just let it be a real thing, because it's okay. Like, we know you're at home, we know you have kids, and that may even help. Like people may be a little bit more relatable if they have kids. So let them walk through. Maybe pay them to walk through.
Pay him to walk through. Hey, here's $5. Come say something cute, like, please, I need a new outfit. Buy something for my dad. Ship some cars. It's
like a bad date. Like if I text you, come walk through and say hello, because I'm about to lose the deal. I need your help.
Oh my gosh. So this brings me actually to, and please keep the comments and the questions coming here. We've got some really fun ones. Tracy Gunn's talking about it's a great talking point when my dog makes an appearance on Zoom.
That's always great. Well, I mean, that's amazing. Like when a dog comes through, like that's like that, a dog or like a little kid will stop the whole conversation. And then now you are on spotlight, and then you could say, yep, say some nice stuff about your cockadoodle or whatever it is, and then make the deal, close the deal, right back to shipping cars.
I love this. We got John Zilka coming in with a question. Vinny says, at first, when all this started, I was so scared they would come in and disturb the meeting. Now it's all very normal. I love to bring them in to the meetings and ask them to take over.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll see. Now when you get into a power position like young Vinny here, then you can do it. You can do whatever, man. My kids, I can't do that.
Vinny's kids are like a part of his work life, though. Like he's like very kid forward, like his whole Facebook thing and everything. Yeah. Plus, I feel like in Brazil, kids start working earlier than they do in the West. So it's like, hey, come on, let's carry some weight around here. I mean, Vinny's doing back to backs for like 8 hours. John Zilka's got a question. Okay, now, Tom, like the GPS. LinkedIn stories, yay or nay?
Man, you did that really dramatic. I'd say yay. Obviously it's new to LinkedIn, but everybody's probably very familiar with Facebook and Instagram stories. So I say yay. Just go ahead and do it, but just make sure that it's appropriate to the space. I mean, because stories are so easy to do and so quick. I feel like it could go maybe the wrong way.
It could get out of control.
It could get it could get like you've never heard me say too personal, because I'm very, like that's not my thing. Like I'm very personal, but I just feel like stories can be dangerous, So be careful. Yay, but be careful. Proceed with caution.
So, what's funny? You said everybody knows like Instagram and everything. I literally probably do not know the difference between a story and a post on Instagram.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know what is wrong with you.
I'm just saying.
That's why I haven't fixed it yet.
Everything you like right now about LinkedIn, it happened on Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Maybe you need to help me with my gram, because I'm really trying to.
I think you're doing good. I think
your gram is big in Brazil. Shout out to Brazil if the Brazilians are on here.
I've seen Love and Relo post a few things on Instagram. Everybody should go follow Love and Relo on Instagram. It's amazing, by the way.
Shout out your Instagram. What are you doing on the gram right now?
I got a lot going on the gram right now. I got my own personal brand, obviously on Instagram, but then I also have a little side clothing thing going on Instagram right now.
What's the difference between your personal brand on Instagram and your side hustle clothing thing?
Well, they're very intertwined. I show me and my family a lot more on my. So this is a perfect example. So on my personal, I show myself and the family and just kind of whatever I want to say in reason on my own personal. But then on the business side of it, it's always to a point. There's always some reason why I'm posting something. There's always some backstory. There's always some trying to cause some engagement.
What are the handles?
The handles for my personal is Tommy _runs with a Z. And then the professional side of it is Chip Time Running just at Chip Time Running.
So what goes down on Chip Time Running? Because if people don't know, I think people probably on this platform know you Do you want to plug Chip Time Running?
I mean, sure. But yeah, make sure at the end, maybe we should probably talk about shipping a car just at the end.
Because we're doing some things here.
Yeah.
We're doing some things here for the month of October, aren't we?
Yeah. So that's the pink flower. There we go. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, so I'll go into that just because you said it that way. So Chip Time Running is a little side hustle thing I got going on where I'm a big time runner. Everybody knows that, and been running for a while. And my goal is to make it to Boston Marathon, which is going to happen sometime in 2021 or 2022, if it even happens in 2021 because of COVID. Who knows? But I opened up or started a clothing apparel company, and breast cancer is very close to my family. My grandmother had it twice. Three aunts had it, and one of them didn't make it. So breast cancer has been very I've just known about breast cancer for a very long time. And then when I started getting older, I started realizing, like, oh, there's a month for this. Okay, I get it. Cool. That's awesome. And then when I finally had the chance to, ReloTrans has always been very, aware of what's going on, and we do things internally. But when I had a chance to have my own company and say, we're going to do something for Breast Cancer Awareness Month instead of just being aware, what I did was I designed a special hoodie for the month of October. It's like a black camo, for the fighting spirit, but then the pink, obviously, for the breast cancer month. And I think half of the proceeds go towards families that are battling breast cancer. So instead of just giving money to like breast cancer awareness research, which is amazing, or breast cancer research, which is amazing, this money will actually go to families trying to help pay for rent, mortgage, utilities, groceries, or whatever. So we want to actually help people that are struggling during this time, because obviously breast cancer costs a lot of, chemo costs a lot of money, and it's a lot going on for a family financially. So we want to be able to help out. And then also on top of that, you got COVID, it got a lot of people with less.
Let's get that. What's that IG handle again for Chip Time Running?
It's just at Chip Time Running.
All one word.
Yep, all one word. Yep.
Okay, I'm putting it down here in the.
So it's all half of the proceeds go to that. Right now we're at $250 raised, and like I said, they will go to families that just need help paying for utilities, rent, stuff like that. And hopefully by the end of the month we'll be at anywhere between 500 to 1,000. So that's what we're doing.
That's what's up. So go get some gear, get some t-shirts, get some hoodies.
Yeah.
Any other products you're selling right now? T-shirts and hoodies?
Yeah, just t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. And then for people that don't necessarily want that hoodie, because obviously not everywhere is hoodie weather, we're taking tips on the website too. Like, so if you buy just a random t-shirt, you could tip, and 100% of the tips go to families.
Can you leave just the tip?
No, you probably can. You cash. If somebody wants to cash at me, they can just hit me up on the side and cash at me.
Okay.
And then I'll just put it towards the thing. But I did it's really important to me though. Like, it's cool that it's my company and all that's doing it, but like I really want, and my grandmother texted me the other day and said she was proud of me for doing something like this. And I was like, damn near broke me down, bro. I was like, come on, man. But yeah, she bought it twice, and she's 89, still kicking, and she's awesome. So it means a lot to me.
We got some questions here. Matthew Odike says, Chip Time Running, do you send to Europe?
If you're paying for the shipping, yeah, bro.
That's pretty much how it goes with us, right? If you pay to ship it, we'll ship it,
right? Ship it to you. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like if you want one, yeah, sure.
He's like, I don't know why you would, but if you want one,
I'm just saying, like if you want one for real, you want to pay.
No, Matthew, get some gear, man. Get some gear for the family. Emily Kozabowski, what's up, Emily? I love the flower from the beginning of this, but I love it even more now that Thomas is wearing it for breast cancer awareness, and I hear his story. You are awesome, Thomas. You are awesome, Thomas.
I've heard that before.
I'm glad. I'm glad your grandmother finally recognized that too. Matthew Odike wants a hoodie.
All right, man.
So we're selling hoodies up in here.
Hit me up. Yeah, man. Hey, you know my Facebook information, man. Hit me up, brother. I got you.
So we got Francine going back real quick to the stories, right?
Yes.
So stories, LinkedIn stories, for all of you that don't know, LinkedIn stories are 15-second clips. Where do the stories appear? They're rolling it out right now. So I guess technically it's in beta, like everything that rolls out on LinkedIn.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. So it's coming. it's coming. Like honestly, I got 2 phones. I got one phone has it, one phone doesn't have it.
Oh, really? Wow,
Which
that's
is like
weird.
crazy,
Right,
but it's up,
right
yeah,
up
it's up
top
there at
there.
the top. So you can see John Masik's name right there. How come my
Yeah.
name's not there? What do I got to do to get a
You ain't
story?
posting that. You ain't do no story, bro.
I ain't do no
Yes.
story. Hold up. I'm
Yes.
finna do a story right now.
Yeah. So yeah, stories pop up, Francine. They pop up at the top of the top of LinkedIn, so they'll always be there. I think as you know, they go away when you scroll, but post a story, and I mean, I think it's actually, let's just go there. I think it's a definite yay. As long as you're using it the right way, you definitely need to go ahead and start using the stories. I mean, because every time somebody, but they have to follow you, obviously. So every time somebody that follows you is connected to you, logs in on LinkedIn, whether they're on their phone or they're on their computer, your story shows up, and that would be a great way to maybe even drive them to your page or to your last post or to your announcement or to something that your company is doing. So
let's show people what it's all about real quick. I'm gonna do a story right now. I'm doing a test story. I'm here with Thomas Bailey on Love and Relo. Hey, if you're watching this right now, go to my page. Oh wait, you don't even got to go to my page. Just open up the LinkedIn app, which you're probably already in right now if you're watching it. Go to the top. There should be a row of faces, and then you can click on my face, maybe, and then check it out. Leave a comment, and then I'm gonna share that story, and we'll see if it does anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of me with you because my family won't believe that I actually got to have a conversation with Ben Cross.
Stop, you're funny.
Smile.
So John, to answer your question, big fan of the stories. I think it's totally different. I think it could get out of control. I think, you know what I got a problem with is the fact that like I can't find like whose story I want. So I have a lot of connections, and I'm getting like a lot of stories from people that I normally wouldn't interact with, which is good, but it's also bad because I just don't know if the algorithms figured out who wants to see what. John, what is your take on it? I'd love to know if you're checked in here. I'd love to know your take on it. Please let me know what you think about stories also.
Yeah, I just really do think it's a good idea. They do not show up on the desktop version. Okay, well that doesn't make so much sense to me, but they should. Once they figure that out, like you say, if it's in beta, I'm sure that they'll figure that part out because I think it's a great tool to use to push people to your actual page or to your last post. I mean, because that's the way people use it on Instagram and everywhere else. Really, it's just, and then like that whole concept of creating an amazing amount of content for your page. What does Gary Vee say? Like 60 pieces of content a day.
80. I think he says 80
a day.
He's also got a team though, but yeah.
But like, so this would be a good way though, honestly, for people to be more engaged and not actually have to stick to your page or be static there. I mean, sometimes you kind of want to flood the LinkedIn block, so to speak, but you don't necessarily want to have 60 posts all the time. And this way, you can just throw something up there for 24 hours, and then it goes away, and then you can do it again tomorrow.
So Janet says, Matthew Odike, that's a sacrifice, not having a physical conference. Thomas could have hand delivered the items. Which is funny that we think that's better to shove everything in your suitcase when you're paying like $50 to check a bag. But I think there is a lot of like drawbacks to not having a physical conference. I'd love to know in the comments, do you strongly prefer the physical conference? Like, are you not in on these virtual conferences? You think they're all trash and a waste of time? Or are you excited because of what reason about the virtual conference? I'm going to share some of my thoughts, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, whether you think it's just a total waste of time or you think it's the biggest untapped opportunity with the highest amount of ROI because of no travel expenses and lower cost of attendance. Tommy, what is your take on that question? Is a virtual conference a big waste of time, an overblown webinar, or is it the biggest value in networking?
I mean, and to be honest, I don't think it's either. I mean, I think it's like right in the middle.
That was not one of the options, Tom. I think 2 options.
No, it's not
2 options, one job, and you went like here with it.
Because it's number one. It's not a total waste of time. Nothing is normally, and it's definitely not like the greatest value. You know what I mean? Because I think it's right down the middle. Because I mean, if you I do understand. I know a lot of people that are so pro, physical conference that they are just not even going to give this a shot because they think it's stupid. And I guess it is stupid if you're only gonna log on, watch it, and then literally log off. But if there's a ways for you to, obviously all, webinars and things like that are going to have as much interaction as possible. I'm not sure what some of these conferences are doing, but I'm sure they're going to have like breakout sessions, which sounds impossible, but all they have to do is click a button and throw people off into little groups. And then it's much more intimate. Instead of having 300 people on a call, now you're with just 6 people in your own little subgroups. And that's a great way for you to, to jump out and say some things and really give some input. But then also on the Q&A side of things, this is definitely, the virtual conference is definitely not one of those times where you can just sort of, sit in the room, so to speak, and like watch and learn and walk out of the room. Like that is a waste of your time. And to a certain extent, you should, as to your best of your ability, is ask questions and contribute. And if you do so, it is a great value. I don't think it's the greatest value, because I'd much rather spend the money and be in person, because there's some connections that you can't make via virtual.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Vinny says physical conferences for sure. Vinny's a hugger, so I feel you, Vinny.
Oh, we definitely can't have Vinny go nowhere right now.
Yeah, can't get that full Vinny experience. Maybe with VR, maybe we could get it. Amanda Brenneman says my soul needs the physical conference.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I remember last time I was hanging out with you was, I think, Puerto Rico. And that was definitely different being physically there than not being physically there. That's
Imagine a virtual Puerto Rico conference. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
I feel like that's called the Zoom background.
Exactly.
That Zoom background, right?
Exactly.
Vinny Valverde, my preference is a physical conference. Of course, it depends on the content. Vinny, I think that's a great point about the content. I think it's also important what type of tools do they have for networking. So that kind of like segues into a question I'd like to put out there for everybody as well. What type of tools would you need to have for it to make sense for you from a networking perspective, right? Because I think that's, well, a virtual conference from a networking perspective, what types of tools would it have to have? Like, how could that work? How could we make it make sense to do that? I want to go through a couple of these comments here. I want you to answer that in the comments, and then I want to hear from you, Thomas, as well. Jack Jampel says virtual conferences probably not worth the cost. I added the question mark, Ben. Probably not worth the cost. So
I mean, they're so cheap.
Yeah, but they're so cheap. But that's the thing. Virtual conferences are 5 to 10 times cheaper than in person. But yeah, we think it's not worth the cost. Like, how does that make sense?
I mean, I think people, when they say that, they mean their time. Like they don't. I mean, I'm not saying I agree, but what I'm saying is like, oh, why would I get on that call? It's just whatever. I mean, because honestly, like it makes you, the people that say that, I feel like now you know what they went to the conference for, and it definitely was not for the information. I mean, which isn't bad. I mean, you want to go and socialize and network. But I mean, some of these conferences, it really gave some great information and knowledge about the industry. And here's a chance, I believe, for us to kind of hone in on that. And then if the association has the right tools, like you're mentioning, to break into smaller groups where you are able to, make your voice be heard and really meet people. Because I was on a call last week, and I connected via LinkedIn, which is a great avenue of connecting at this point, after the call, which was cool. Because so I mean, I think if you go in there with the right attitude, use LinkedIn, you're good to go.
I think you're right. We still got Tommy's banner up there. Let me get your name back here, Tommy. Do we have a Tommy Baby banner? I don't know if we have a Tommy Baby banner. I think J Rowe, what up? I was super pumped for ERC this year. Felt like I was building my network and was looking forward to meeting everyone in person. Already counting down the days to the 2021 conference.
That's a lot of days.
Yes, that's a lot of days. Yeah, so I mean, I think the questions that we ask ourselves, right, from a virtual conference standpoint, are how's somebody going to find me? How am I visible? And how am I making an impact? Like how am I visible, and how am I impactful? And then how am I following up? Because I know what that looks like in real life. How do I do that virtually? Tommy Baby.
I think that I think almost the same way that I would have suggested to do an in-person, use LinkedIn and social media to kind of announce where you're going. So, kind of, obviously you're not going anywhere, but announce that you're going to be, I'm super excited about BAM's diversity and inclusion tomorrow or today or whatever. And, I'm really excited to be on Ben's show today, announce where you're going to be. And hopefully, number one, you may inspire other people to jump in there too, because, why would I not want to hang out with Ben in, a virtual conference somewhere? And just to kind of announce it so you kind of gain some traction that way. Use LinkedIn stories if you have it on your thing to say like, hey, about to do this, really excited, or like take a picture of it and say, look, I'm doing this right now. And then other people, maybe, obviously during the event, you won't be able to network with someone because it's not set up like that. But if you make it known that you're going to be there, then afterwards, other people that see that you were also on a call with them, maybe they want to have more further conversations about, immigration or whatever, So
see, I you said something though. I like what you're saying, but you said something also that I would even argue, pardon me, is that, it's not set up that way, right? So there's people that are commenting right now who are creating conversations and are networking. I mean, Henri and Rory were just going back and forth, earlier, right? Vinny is kind of talking. People are talking to Vinny right now. I know people who have logged into the show and got active in the comments over the course of a couple days, made relationships that then turned into Zoom calls and outside of this thing, which then turned into potentially, business relationships just because they were making comments here.
Yeah.
And I think that people are underselling the opportunity they have to be seen. I think the problem is in the past, we've done these conferences, but really they're just webinars. And I'm going to show you a PowerPoint slide and I'm going to read it like I'm half asleep. And then that's it. Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice day. And then, at the end, does anybody have any questions? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we're going to give you 5 minutes of your life back. And we're going to, nobody has any questions because it hasn't been interactive the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it right, I think people are interacting all the time.
You mean if the association does it right?
If the association does it right. Correct. Yeah. Correct.
But then yeah, I mean, yes, if all associations or all these webinars were amazing and very interactive, then it'd be a no-brainer. But if there are ones that are more just kind of spewing information at you, I'm still saying those are definitely still, you should still attend those. But you may have to do a little more work on the front and back end to make sure that your presence is felt, even if it's not felt like during that 60-minute period, See, my thought is on these things is that if you're just doing a webinar where it's a one-way communication, you're wasting people's time. That's the way I'd look at it, because otherwise, why would I tune into an event at a given time when I could just go reference it in a library? And oh, by the way, there's so much content in a library that I don't go reference, because why would I? I mean, it's like, so. No, I agree with you, but I mean, not that have that. Unfortunately, that's not in my hands, but what we can do,
only personally responsible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ben, I made a mistake, and I'm sorry that I set the wrong tone for all associations, but so it is what it is, though, we all should, if people are in these comments or watching these videos and know enough about LinkedIn to be all in love and relo, then we need to jump in these conferences and make them better, and then have feedback though. Like, you make your voice heard, if they don't know their conference just sucked, they may think they just crushed it and gave you all the right information.
Everybody thinks they crush it.
Like,
I think it went great. Oh,
great. So did you have any questions? No.
Terrible. If you say something to people and nobody has a comment or a question, it sucked. Okay. I want to burst your bubble right now as a friend, as someone who loves you and wants you to not be mediocre.
Yeah. It sucked.
Let's see here. John Habanik says, great question. I don't think anyone's nailed that down yet. We got people here. Let's read some comments on this, because I think this is where we're getting into the meat here. Okay. Let's see here. John Habanik says decision makers used to block a calendar to attend to be present in person will be torn in 100 directions. Regular workday, conference sessions, homeschooling children, etc. We're supporting, but I'm skeptical. Interesting. Yeah, you have to be disciplined and say, I'm going to block this time off, even though I'm sitting in my office or I'm sitting at home, more likely. Yeah. And people think that I'm available for whatever. I'm not available. And how do we do that? It's easy. It's easy when you're walking around, you're hanging out in the lobby, and so your boss calls you like voicemail, dink, or whatever, right?
That's was dink the sound, or you're calling
dink.
It?
I dink. That's my sound I make when I send somebody a voicemail.
I thought you were calling the man a dink.
No, a dink. Double income, no kids. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's interesting. Adam Lowy says, "Baby Tommy, yes, baby Tommy, baby." Vinny. Oh, here's a question, and this is for you, Thomas. Who will attend ERC's GWS? The cost is so much lower than the physical conference, but it's still a cost. The regional councils are doing an amazing job and providing it for free. Vinny asking the hard-hitting questions. Vinny, you need a talk show. Thomas, are you on ERC?
So why will I attend? I will attend because it's great to have. I think I'm assuming that they're going to do an amazing job. I've always loved ERC conferences in person and the physical. So I'm assuming that they'll do an amazing job with this virtual conference.
Why are you assuming that again? I'm sorry.
Because ERC is awesome, and we all
got it. Yeah, Roger. Okay. Copy that.
And I do, and I love the fact that the regionals are doing it for free. But I think that the cost is low enough for me to want to jump in there and see what it's about and try my best to, obviously learn as much information as I can, but in the process, hopefully they do it right and have moments where you can be in breakout sessions with people that aren't necessarily going to be on your regional. I think the net is cast much wider, I would feel, for like an event, for an ERC event than it is for the standard or typical regional. That may not be true because you have
but time out, because if you're doing like a SRC in Florida, right, and they're getting I think Ben Heller's gonna be doing something with them, right? He's out of New York, right?
Yeah.
So they're not now normally they would be constrained to their region.
Yeah, right.
But now we're virtual. They can have somebody from Mars on.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
I don't know that, Benny.
No barriers. There's no more geographic barriers. I'm doing IM. I'm very involved with IM. I'm going to plug this, right? Because to Vinny's point, corporates are free at IM. So if you want to go to the IM conference, you can hear global mobility thought leaders for free, and they're from all over the world.
Yeah,
you got people from Asia Pacific, from big companies in Asia, in Brazil, in Mexico, in Europe, and you got Singapore and Hong Kong and Australia. Not to mention people all over the US that wouldn't necessarily fly into San Diego to sit on a panel as a client. But you got a dozen RMCs, you got 24 corporates. You got people from all over the world coming to IM to talk about global mobility and to do it for free, for corporates. There's a cost for suppliers and service providers, right? Yeah. But it's free for corporates to attend. That's hard to compete with.
But at the same time, so I would be paying, to go to IM, but I would pay because of all that great stuff that you said,
Are you attending IM?
Yeah, I am. I haven't registered yet, though.
You just ain't told nobody yet?
I just ain't told nobody. I'm going to show up. Just like I normally.
It's harder to sneak into these conferences, though.
Yeah, you can't.
You can slide through Chicago in the lobby like, "Hey, nobody see me.
That's just. There's none of that will be happening. If you're standing outside of a virtual conference, it's not going to work out. I'll tell you.
You're actually just standing outside.
You were literally just standing there.
Jen Breen says, think virtual conferences can complement in-person ones, especially if you want to involve more team members than you're willing to travel, but nothing beats human interaction, especially when networking. That is such a phenomenal point, Jen.
Great point.
Tommy, you go, Frank goes, maybe, Tito or somebody goes, right?
Yeah.
But then there's a whole bunch of people back in the office that don't go. I go to a conference, maybe my boss goes, but then there's a whole bunch of people back at the office that can't go.
And there's so much. I mean, and the experience of, even if it's virtual, so the experience for some of our employees to kind of hear that talk and be in that atmosphere, so to speak, is very valuable. And like, I think like, since you mentioned Tito, I had him sign up for a little conference that was, I think, a week or so ago, that he definitely would not have gone to in person. But I said, hey, sign up for it, because number one, it's free. Number two, it's, you don't have to go anywhere. So sign up for it. And after the call, like, I mean, I was bored. Frank was bored. But then he said, dude, that was great. I never really heard it like that. And because he's talking to a different, when he's selling to a different crowd. And it was just great. And so to Jennifer's point, there's so many people that would benefit from, jumping on these things, even if they cost and they're cheap,
Adam Lowy, shout out to Adam over at Move for Hunger. Adam says, what would make it worth it? Right. And not always the question, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
I think we did a gross up on it.
Okay, go check the gross up. Go check the archives.
Is it worth it?
Little Missy Elliott slice in there. To pay to attend, what would make it worth it to pay to attend a virtual conference for several days and actually work to be present? And what it means is actually block your calendar off, say
for several days,
I'm not here right now, out of office, all that jazz, right? What would make it worth it? And people are actually kind of commenting on that. I'd love to see your comments here on this, everybody. Vinny probably so far with the win here says, Adam, you sold me at a cocktail kit. So could you simulate some of the networking events, with kits like this, right? Adam says, John Habanek, I've been thinking a lot about user experience. What does the new virtual conference look like from home? Are they sending me a cocktail kit? I've heard about wine tastings, so I can have a better virtual happy hour. Something needs to justify the expense. Thomas, what about a virtual boot camp?
Oh, I wonder if that could happen.
That's a great idea I just had, right?
Yeah, it's a great idea that you had.
How that might work.
Well, I mean, they do, like, there's people all over the country that do that, who don't want their fitness gyms to go out of business. So they've been doing virtual fitness classes and stuff like that. So they got people in their living rooms doing, burpees and stuff like that, lifting weights or whatever. And if you don't have any weights, grab that, can of black beans, get working with it,
16-ounce squat.
Yeah, really, so get those triceps going, But it's just, I think that, if we have to apply the old way of thinking on everything's gonna suck. It's just, this is gonna be stupid because it's not virtual. I mean, it's not physical. There's so many different ways, as long as we stay open and just jump in there. And if it sucks the first time, give some feedback. I almost said a bad word. Give some feedback, and it'll be good.
Check this. Here's an idea for you, right? Here's an idea for anybody out there that's watching this. You guys can have this for free. That's what Love and Real is all about. Okay.
Oh God.
These golf tournaments everybody does? Do a golf tournament. Everybody plays their home course.
Wait, are you reading from something that's already happening right now?
You really know how to just kill my show, Tommy. You just come in here, you accuse me of reading from a script or something.
I'm sorry.
Obviously I have my notes right here and everything. No, seriously though, this is my idea. What people do this right now? This is my idea. Everybody plays their home course simultaneously. You have a leaderboard that everybody's uploading their score to live, and then you can watch the leaderboard. No? Yeah?
Yeah, I think the foundation for ERC is doing a golf tournament.
They're doing a golf tournament, but they're not doing live scores.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. There's steps to this.
That's a huge difference.
That would be amazing.
Like me writing an article and mailing it to everybody that's on this call right now, or actually having a conversation.
I happily open your newsletter, then.
There's some mysterious white powder in there if I send it to you. All right, John Zoga says $250 all-in cost for virtual ERC is a major bargain for the content and the trend awareness. John must be speaking at that conference.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the truth though. It's a lot of information that hopefully will be spewed.
But what's funny is, and I'd like to hear in the comments if somebody actually is doing this, right? Because what people are saying, but now I could send my whole office. But are you really? Is you really? Because if you didn't think it was worth it for them to go before,
I mean,
Why
okay.
would you think it's
No. Well, I mean, devil's advocate, sure.
How many people y'all sending to ERC, Thomas?
We're not. I think we're sending 6 right now. We're gonna do 6 when we would have done 3.
What 6 people you sending?
We're sent. Well, I mean, you mean name
Put it on wax right now.
Are we doing this? Are we doing this? All right.
I just don't believe you said 6. I think you're making this up as you go along.
No, like literally. I mean, we know. So we got 2 of our team leaders going. We got our operations manager going. Well, dang, 5 because we had no. Yeah, so we got our VP of our director of client services going. We got Frank going. We got me going.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's 6.
Wow, that's incredible, man. That's a great investment.
I mean, it's true. I mean, but it is. I mean, like to your point, yeah. Like, don't complain about it and say, "Oh, it's so much better now because we can send all these people," and don't.
Yeah.
You know, send them. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily save the money for. It's like you're saving $10,000. I wouldn't send $10,000 worth of people. You know, like take advantage of the opportunity and send some more people, but don't spend that $10,000. I mean,
Odette Carmi say it's not underselling. You can still network, but it's different than being with someone at a bar or a different establishment at 1 a.m. in the morning. Ben, no one knows that better than you. I have no idea what you're talking about, Odette. Ben
has always been an early sleeper. Like, you know, every night I've never been out with you past 10 o'clock, Ben.
10 o'clock's when I call it a night. That's when I FaceTime my wife and just call it a night. Yeah.
You went the extra layer
for sure. Well, details make it sound real.
Okay, good.
Charles White, are you guys friends? What up, Chuck? Good to see you. Good to see you, Chuck. Henri, 3,000 balls on the green, fire in the hole. That sounds awesome. I don't know that game.
That sounds super fun.
Chuck wants to know how many are you sending to IAM?
Me, 3. But don't look at the registration because I gotta do some things after this.
After this public commitment, if you're watching this right now,
no 3 though.
You need to go register for IAM. It is tremendous value. I'm actually going to roll a little banner right now.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about IAM's the future of IAM though.
Really? Talk about it.
No, I just feel like it's it's a great time. I think it'll be a great time for IAM in the next couple of years to come. I mean, because the way you said that, you know, that corporates are coming free, that's exciting. And so if corporates are coming for free, that means more RMCs will come, or more RMCs come means more domestic movers come, and then that means more internationals come. And
we start building bikes for kids like we did before at the other thing.
You could do hoverboards. You know, who cares? You know, you got all these opportunities. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just hearing that they're pushing towards the corporate side of things. It just means that the future is definitely gonna be a little different. Because I think people heard the international part and were like, "Yeah, I don't really do international." But if Ayers, Cardis, whoever's gonna be there, I'm there.
Ayers and Cardis are both speaking.
Oh, we definitely gonna be there.
You want me to go through the lineup here? John Zilka, who's in the comments, he's speaking from NRI Relocation. BGRS is speaking. Cardis is speaking.
Altair, you said?
Altair is speaking. Ayers is speaking. GMS is speaking.
Yikes.
I know I'm running out of people. I know I got more. Alarm Group is speaking. Silk Relo out in Asia is speaking. Grable speaking, Cap Relo speaking, Plus Relocation speaking. I mean that's 11. That's off the top of my head. So it's going to be.
I wasn't even counting. I lost count at Ayers.
Don't worry, I got you. Yeah. Vinny says he done. Vinny, I'll see you at IAM. That's awesome, man. I can't wait.
Is that what he's saying? Talking about?
Yeah. Chuck says 170 special guests are registered. That's 170 corporate and RMC guests.
Oh, special guests. Dang, they get called special too. Yeah, see, IAM knows how to do it, man.
That's like having the badge with like all the ribbons.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I think that should be part of the experience. All these conferences need to still send the badges.
Badges and badgification.
The thing, the ribbons. Send them ribbons. I want to see them ribbons. Tommy baby, there we go.
I love it. Let's see here. Sandra says there's value in having focused time and focused content since daily life can be OBE. So especially when in person isn't possible, I'm glad to have virtual environments. I'm loving those that are giving content access for 30 days afterward or such in case where there are overlaps in sessions. I'm of a mind to support and give grace to those brave enough to be the early adopters while everyone else learns. That's a great point, Sandra. Somebody's got to be first, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just like agreeing with you while you talk. Go ahead.
It's better than disagreeing with me while I talk. No, but I mean, I think what happens when you do something big and courageous, like doing a virtual event. Like, I mean, shout out to ERC who's doing like 3 weeks of content. Yeah. Shout out to what I am's doing, bringing corporate clients from around the world. I think when you do something for the first time, people tend to be like, I don't know about that. You going? I don't know. You going? And like, they're kind of like, I don't know. And then it takes people to like say, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to support it. I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the people putting it together. And I think if everybody trusts the process and everybody trusts the people, then you get this big, magnificent event. One of the things that's been really cool, I've been actually in the IAM platform, and I think it's really cool because people want to know, how do I network? You could set meetings in, so everybody that's attending the conference is in there. You could just click on their name. You could just set a meeting with them. So like, honestly, for me, when I go to ERC, like normally I'll go to ERC or IM, I wouldn't really set a lot of appointments in advance. I would just let's see where the night took me and kind of like catch people,
Where the day took you, you meant the day. The early morning burpees, I would see where those took me. And then I would just be very organic with it, not intentional per se. I'd be intentionally organic with it. And I think with this, you can go in and just see everybody and say, hey, I want to meet with you. 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 Now, those people, the belle of the ball, if you will, they're going to have to say no to some people. All right, cool. That's life. But you get to see everybody. Because, I mean, what if you didn't run into the people you wanted to see? Like, that's one way I think it could be even better in a virtual environment. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, obviously, like you said, some people are gonna have to say no, which it's gonna happen regardless. And even if in person, you're not gonna always, like you said, you're not gonna always be able to meet with who you want. And then just part of being the early adopters, I think that just if in the case of like LinkedIn, like the people who called LinkedIn dumb for so long and didn't do anything with it, are have how many followers they have now, but those people that jumped in full steam and they're using it and all that, they've created amazing networks at this point. So I think that if you jump in ground level, these conferences may kind of suck every now and then. But I think just your presence and your input, I think is invaluable, and who knows what could come of that. So I would say jump in and watch these conferences, learn, and maybe have some suggestions along the way.
I love it. Matt Yodak says the YP section. I mean, YP section for IM is going to be great. YP session for ERC is going to be great, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and in both cases, you're bringing people together who may not necessarily be there, and you're curating conversations that are spectacular. And now a lot more YPs can actually attend without the travel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that the YP groups will grow during this time because it's young people are synonymous with wanting to do stuff like this, or at least giving it a shot and being flexible. So I think that at this point, some of the YP groups that I'm hearing obviously are just kind of pushing on full steam and having as many events as possible, side conversations. I think we kind of got happy hour. I think we fizzled out of the happy hour moment because we were doing happy hours every other day.
Too many happy hours.
Yeah. But so I think the YP groups will grow during this next year.
Yeah, that's what's up. Odette says IM will be a great conference. They've always known how to throw the best conference. It won't be any different just because it's virtual. Interesting. Yeah, we got some really great comments here. I don't even have time to read them all because there's just too many of them. It's fantastic. Shout out to all the people that checked in here. Truly fantastic, Jackie. Virtual can be accessible. Yeah, Amanda says Puerto Rico would have been soul crushing if it was virtual.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, imagine. Are we talking about Bill? Like we'd have watched Bill stand on the beach. That'd have been great.
Yeah, that would not have been the same. But sometimes when you just be like, hey, we're going to, I was going to say Dallas because even though Dallas is my spot, I mean, we're going to Houston. We're going to like nondescript city,
Yeah. Still better.
But even those have flavor too.
Yeah, bro. Like I'd rather
at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, no, I'd rather be in Houston right now than my basement, for sure.
Gillies or Billy Bob's or something like that. Go see some rodeo or something.
I spend so much time with my family. It is getting ridiculous.
This is great. What's up, Erica? It's good to see you. This is fantastic. People are just loving the comments. Thomas, I want to ask you just for one piece of advice, kind of finally, as you think about networking or one thing that people might want to think about or focus on as they go into to the virtual conference environment.
Two things: go into it with an open mind, right, and be ready to participate. But I say leverage LinkedIn as much as possible. Pre-game and post-game.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Tommy, baby, this was nice, man. This felt good.
It did. It did. Are you gonna tell me I was terrible afterwards, like you did last time?
You're stealing my thunder.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but hey, everybody, thank you so much for getting in the comments. The questions were fantastic. This is all about you guys. So I really appreciate you, just throwing out the questions, the comments, getting involved. It was really fantastic. Saw a lot of friends that hadn't seen in a while. Tommy really brings them out. So appreciate that. People are loving the Zoolander comments as well. Henri wants me to give him the Magnum. So we'll see how that works out. So anyway, hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate you. We got a fun week ahead of us this week. So we got Melvin Smith tomorrow from DeWitt. Love DeWitt. About time we had a DeWitt person on, right, Tommy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got Renee from Relocation Africa. We've got Bill Mulholland from Puerto Rico, virtually, which is not nearly as good.
Oh, he's gonna definitely have a dope background.
Yeah, we got all sorts of things going on this week. I'm forgetting somebody right now, which is terrible. But we got a great week going on. Oh yeah, we got Shazy Tan from Singapore at a special time, 9 a.m. on Thursday, I believe, 9 a.m. Thursday Eastern time. So make sure to make a note of that. Thanks everybody for being a part of this. This was great, Tommy. Again, always a pleasure, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, man. Take care.